Okay, so just going to start on our revision lesson here, okay? We finished coasts. As you can see, it's incredibly detailed topic. Okay, so coast review Thursday and objective here, okay? So this is very important to make sure you review this topic correctly because there's so much in it, okay? Quiz will be next Monday, and again, just multiple choice questions, but it's going to be a trickier one, all right? So what I'm going to outline today is just different ways that you can revise, okay, and make sure we're up to speed with what needs to be done. So there's a variety of different stuff. Now, I do not want to, the aim here is not to overwhelm you, okay? The aim is to give you as many options and as clear instructions as possible for revision, okay? So you don't have to do all of these, all right? But this is certainly the best areas to revise. So first of all, we're going to just look at Bunnet page 156 in a couple of minutes, okay? While reading through these notes, you should be highlighting the key ones which are listed below and read through by your teacher. In addition, you should also be searching for the ones which relate to areas of the topic you are unfamiliar with. So this page in Bunnet, at the end of each chapter of Bunnet, they have a page which literally breaks down the whole chapter into like 30 key points. I've listed, as you can see, there's quite a few here. I've listed these, again, they're just bullet points as the important ones. So what we'll do is we're going to jump in there in just a second and have a look through Bunnet, okay? But Bunnet has to be kind of your first port of call for revision about coasts. Secondly, remember the name of the topic is, not if, is Bahamian landscapes. So we need to know about these coastal features, but within the Bahamas. So these were the pages from Bahamian landscapes, all right? Again, you're never going to remember all of that word for word, but you have to make sure you go through some of the textbook. Know your examples, okay, and know maybe just some key stuff like the invasive and natural and native species that grow on our sand dunes, things like that, okay? Know which islands have caves and so on. So I will be putting a couple of questions on the quiz specific to the Bahamas. So I would certainly just read through here, okay? You don't have to spend ages on it, but the two textbooks are your first port of call, okay? I'm going to skip over to Bunnet now very quickly, okay? And we'll look at that page 156. Okay, so on page 156 you can see, look, they're numbered 1 down to 28, okay? So again, it may seem like I've highlighted a lot. Really all I've done is I've highlighted pretty much every word that's in italics, okay? They're your key vocab. Number 3, it just talks about how there's a constant interaction between the ocean and the land. So where the ocean and land meet, it's constantly interacting, okay? The level of sea changes, it rises at high tide and falls at low tide. Simple basic facts, all right? The coastline is the highest level that the sea reaches on the land. So the coastline is the highest average level of where the sea reaches the land. You need to know stuff like foreshore and backshore, okay? Sediments deposited between the coastline and the shoreline is called a beach. So that's all a beach is, it's deposited sediment, all right? Waves are caused by the winds. The height of the wave is determined by what? The strength and duration of the winds and the length of the fetch. Next word, number 13, I've just highlighted fetch. What is a fetch? So this goes through all that key vocab, and it actually goes through the chapter in sequence, okay? So you start off with simple stuff. What causes the waves? What are the two types of waves? We'll come across in just a moment. And then the features they construct, okay? So let me put this up here. When wind velocity falls, okay, we didn't do what this word swell was, I don't think. When the wind velocity falls, when wind speed falls, wave height decreases and wave length increases. So the waves get lower, but they're stretched out longer, okay? So they actually become called they start being called a swell. So a swell is like a huge wave, but it doesn't have the same definitions as a wave, okay? It's not as high, but it's huge. It can be huge in length. I put that they occur in the open ocean, so you'll see those swells out in the ocean. If you've ever been out on a boat, it's when the boat rises up, it comes in and it rises up and then back down, okay? Swash and backwash, we should know. A constructive wave is one that deposits sediment, a destructive wave is one that removes sediment, and so on. We work our way down, okay? types of erosion, abrasion, hydraulic action, attrition. This lists, number 21 is important, it lists all the erosional landforms and then all the depositional landforms. So again, you need to be very clear on which are caused by erosion and which are caused by deposition. Okay. Sediment is moved along the shore by longshore drift. You should know how that process works. The next one, just again a quick definition of a ria and a fjord and how they're different. Okay, raised beaches, a little bit here about groins and ways to protect the coast. Sand dunes, they're fixed by growing marram grass. That's the answer to one of the questions in your map skills, and so on. I'm not saying you have to highlight the same ones I did. Okay, if you don't know some of the bits in there, I would highlight that one, and then I would go back through the chapter trying to find those words. So for example, if you didn't know about, if you're like, I can't remember raised beaches, okay, read through this a couple of times, highlight number 24, read through it, then go back through the chapter and try and find, right, where are raised beaches. Again, like I said, the key facts are in order of the chapter, so number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, they'll be right near the start of the chapter on coasts, and as you go through, you get closer to the end. So raised beaches, for example, would be in some of the last pages of this chapter. Alright, but that is a good source. Now I'm not going to go through all the Bahamian landscapes again. We've highlighted everything we need to out of that and added any notes. Okay, and Bahamian landscapes is mainly just for examples. So I'm going to skip back to the PowerPoint now and just give you, I think it's 2 more areas to help you revise with. Alright, and that'll be it for today. Okay, so back to our PowerPoint. Alright, we've talked about our textbooks. The next bit then, okay, very important, is I've sent you an information sheet. It was attached to the forecast that I sent out on Sunday, okay, and it's called Coast Information Sheet, I think it's what it's called. Okay, so it's always helpful to read new material or new documents about the same topic, as they might be explained in a different way, a simpler way. This document is full of diagrams and so on. So again, just to give you some examples, okay, factors affecting the coast, very good. Processes happening, so what are the things: erosion, transportation, deposition, mass movement, all of that. And then again, it lists types of landforms, depositional and erosional. It's got some stuff about headlands and bays, okay, as well. It's got another diagram of longshore drift with an explanation along it, or above or below it, okay. And it goes through the 4 types of coastal erosion. It's even got a little thing to help you remember, okay. Corrosion, attrition, solution, hydraulic action. So CASH, okay. So again, might not work for you, but it's an easier way, another way of trying to remember this information, okay. And like I said, it may use different language at times, because some of the work is from UK based sources, some is from American based sources, so just make sure you're very familiar. Alright, so yes, that sheet has been sent to you. Okay, it's attached to the forecast document that was sent out on Sunday. Alright, if you can't find it, drop me an email, I can attach it and send it back to you, but you all have that. It's about 5 or 6 pages long, and it has these diagrams on it. Okay, the final one then, and this is this is an excellent source, and we'll be using this again for different topics. This link here, okay, and again, it's in the forecast, it's in the lesson I sent you, so you can open that document and find it, or else you can just type it out from here. It's not too long. So this is a load of information about everything about coasts. It is a UK source, which means it may use different language, but it's got lots of videos that really show you what's happening on the coast. Some of them are really good. Alright, your task is to pick 3 areas from coast that you are unfamiliar with and make notes from the website, okay, and be aware they may use that different language. So let me just very quickly show you what it looks like. This is the one about coasts here. It's called Geography Pods, okay, and you scroll down. So coasts, who's bothered, who's involved, okay, little video about coasts starting there. Surfs up, ocean waves, okay, so the action of the waves, how do they form, another very complex diagram, and so on. Keywords with definitions, we did those already. Oops. Wearing it down, coastal erosion. This is a good video of a whole cliff collapsing, okay, on itself. Constructive and destructive waves, more videos. The 4 types of erosion. Okay, here's our wave cut platform with our cliffs, and you can see all the caves and arches and stuff here. So there's some really, really good examples and visual stuff here to help you. Okay. Erosional features. Here's our headlands and bays, and again more examples. Look at this wave cut platform at low tide. What else we got? Our stacks and stumps. Okay. Longshore drift, more videos. Deposition. Okay, spits, more videos, more examples, lots of stuff in your sand dune formation. Coral reef, we don't really need to know that for this test. Mangroves are always good to know about. Okay, so lots of stuff protecting the coast then at the end. Alright, so loads of really good information for you to use there, and I suggest you use that. Okay.